Hey, you're listening to and watching the Drew and Mia podcast show. I'm Drew.
And I'm Mia.
We got a great show in store for you guys today. I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Miss Mia. Listen, we are in our second hour, so if you guys are watching this and you see us, well, why they have on the same thing? We are doing the deluxe edition today. We're in our second hour. It's a new segment, new topics, all of that. We're just here working double time for you guys. So I am excited to be here with you guys. I don't know what's going on where you are, where you're watching and tuning in, but the weather here has not been so friendly for us, but we're here, we're grateful, and I appreciate it. Miss Mill, what's going on with you today?
Listen, mother is blessed and highly favored, honey. She is, her skin is highlighted.
Glowing,
She's been drinking her
glowing,
water and she's
glowing.
been minding her business.
Really? How much water do you drink in a day?
Listen, I try to drink about 4 bottles.
So are you the one carrying a big old gallon of water to work with you?
No, I don't do that. I'm not. That's not my ministry. So
I've seen a whole bunch of people walking around with the big old jug of water. I'm like, really? They're going to drink all of that in one day?
They be struggling because some girls at my job, they be struggling all day.
In the
I have
bathroom
a
all
cute
day.
little thing, and we have a water filter at my job. And so what I do is when I'm parched, I go and I know how much to put in there because, of course, I have to have my water, all this makeup and show business look that I have to do. I
Right.
have to make sure that my skin is well. And, I
True,
also
true.
mind my business. And I get about 8 hours of minding my business.
Wow. Well, I mean, yeah, blessed. That's a blessed life. If you could get 8 hours, you're blessed. I cannot sleep through the night. I wake up probably, if I go to bed about 10 or 11, I'm up maybe 2 or 3. I'll watch a movie or something just to doze off again.
Not sleep, business.
Oh,
I get 8 hours of minding my business.
oh,
But I only get 3 hours of sleep.
oh, wow. And you can do all that on 3 hours? Have mercy.
Yeah.
Well, listen, let's get started with our show today. We are doing our new segment called Hometown Hero Spotlight. This one is very good for me, as all of them will be, and all of them are. I'm highlighting many of our pastors here and
Okay.
pastors who have made a difference in the communities that they serve. And believe it or not, your brother, Pastor Brian Nelson, is on my list. I've watched Pastor Nelson do so much during this COVID pandemic with helping church members, helping the community. So I made sure that I listed him because he is one of our hometown heroes,
Yes,
making
he
a
is.
difference in the community here in the Houston metro area. And we want to give him a great shout out. So my list includes Pastor Connie Jackson of the St. John Northwest Church, who is my
Okay.
pastor, Pastor Connie C.J. Jackson.
Yes.
Also Pastor Rudy Rasmus, who's the pastor of the St. John downtown. That's actually how I met Pastor Jackson. So shout out to him. He's doing so much in downtown, so much through Heights area. He owns Through Good Coffee in the Heights,
Okay.
him and his wife. So if you are ever in the Heights, please go and support him at Through Good Coffee. You can connect with them on social media at Through Good Coffee, and also reach out to Pastor Rudy online at Pastor Rudy Resmus, Resmus, and reach out to him. Again, Pastor Brian Nelson, Jericho City, Church of God in Christ, Bishop Darrell Brister, Beacon Light International, New Orleans, my home church back home, doing so much in the community, helping people survive through this struggle, this pandemic, man. And then also Bishop R.C. Blake's and Pastor Sam Blake's new home here in Houston and New Orleans and Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I've seen them on social media handing out food to people in need, resources, making resources available to many, many people, and just being available, knowing that it's just not money and food people need. People need to know that someone cares. Bishop Brister used to always say, people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I didn't understand it at first, but now I do. Keep your money. Just let me know you care. Because if I know you care, then I know that you don't have a problem giving me the money when I need it. You know what I mean? So shout out to all of them. Pastor Connie Jackson, St. John Northwest, Pastor Rudy Rasmus, St. John downtown, Pastor Brian Nelson, Jericho City, Bishop Darrell Brister, Beacon Light International, and then Bishop R.C. Blake's and Pastor Sam Blake's. You can find out more about them If you go to our social media at Drew and Mia Podcast Show, or if you visit us online, DreuxandMiaPodcastShow.com, we'll have a highlight section where we spotlight our hometown heroes. And it's not just here in Houston, we're spotlighting people from all over. So if you have someone that you want us to spotlight and shout out, go ahead and reach out to us online, DreuxandMiaPodcastShow.com, or send us a message on our social media pages at Drew and Mia Podcast Show. We want to hear from you guys. So, Miss Mia, what's going on with our tea time today?
Listen, honey.
Oh my God.
Listen. So Riley Burris graduated high school.
So who's Riley Burris?
That's Candy Burris.
Oh, okay.
What is wrong with you?
I thought it was like a singer or something.
No, Riley Burris graduated high school, and listen, only 2 people could go, so Todd couldn't go, and Miss what's her mama name?
Joyce.
Miss Joyce, Mama Joyce
Mama
was
Joyce.
able to go, and Candy was able to go, but Riley looked. She looked about 35.
Wow.
Yeah, I had an issue with that.
And she's how old? 17,
She's
16?
17.
Wow.
So, I just didn't understand what was going on with the contour of her nose. But Riley is 17. She looked about 35. And I was like, what is going on? So
This is her graduation pic?
this is her graduation, like on the show.
Okay.
They showed her walking across the stage, and then they had a moment where they like flashed her picture, and she was in her cap and gown, and honey, the contour under her eyes and the highlight, I was like, oh my gosh, she looked about 35. Like, she did not look like a 17-year-old.
I wonder if she was going for that look.
I don't think so, because whoever did the contouring of her nose, it was smushed in. It wasn't a good look. So
Wow.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is that these kids are drinking or what these parents are letting them do, but she's only 17. So I'm just like, I was watching the show like, Candy, what is going on? Like,
I think Riley has always like been ahead of her time.
true.
Like
That's
an
very
old
true.
soul.
That's
Like an
very
old
true.
soul. And I mean, Candy just lets her be who she is. So
That's true.
at 17, like, okay, if that's how you want to look, then go for it. I didn't see it, so I don't know, but I believe what you're saying. So maybe she was just like, let me try to look older than I'm supposed to be.
I don't know why.
Because, back in the day, we was always trying to be older than we was.
Yeah, but our mamas put us in our place. Our mamas didn't play that, and I'm all for parenting your child the way that you want to parent them.
Yeah.
However, it was like the body and the face and it was just crazy, because
Wow.
I've watched the show since Riley was like 9, and now she's 17. So, well, she was probably 8, because the show has been on for like 11 years, 10,
Yeah.
11 years,
Long
and
time.
she looks like a grown woman, honey. But listen, that's not the only tea I gotta tell you. I'm
What
gonna
else?
switch over from Real Housewives of Atlanta, honey, back over to Real Housewives of Potomac,
So which one is the highest rating one?
Atlanta, because Nene was on there. Now Nene,
Yeah.
Nene said she didn't want to come back, and it really ain't all of that, So I think that's why Atlanta is having to hire all these extra girls in order to make the show, because they already know the queen Nene. They need her on there to make the show. But anyway, Housewives of Potomac, which you don't watch, I want you to
don't.
start watching these shows so you can know what I'm talking about.
I'm busy.
Oh, you busy, but you had your schedule booked to be watching NYPD Blue and all these dumb shows that you be watching.
Does it come on during those times?
No, Housewives come on Sunday.
I'm watching football.
Football.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm busy.
So I'm gonna have to tape the shows for you. And send it to- so when I'm doing tea time, you can know what I'm talking about, because you don't even know.
No, I don't.
Honey, I wish you knew Ashley Darby though. She's on Housewives of Potomac. Now her
Who is she? I mean, what she do?
She don't do nothing.
Do any of them do anything?
Not really.
So
Not
they're
really.
married to? Are they married to someone?
Now Ashley is married to a man that's like 40 years.
Not 40 is her elder.
Yes, he like, okay, I
Someone
won't
we
say
know?
that much. Probably about 25 years. No, he's just an older guy, and he has philandering ways. And she just caught him cheating like 2 months ago, but now she is not 2 months ago. The show has only been on for like 3 months. So back when they were shooting the show, like 2 months in, she found out that he was cheating on her. But now on the reunion, she finds out that she's 6 months pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just a lot going on. Like these women, they don't care. They have an open relationship, but the only reason that he got in trouble this time is because he didn't tell her what he had done. Praise the Lord.
Well, that's the whole purpose of cheating, right?
But now
Not
you
to have to tell.
But when you have an open relationship, why you don't tell your wife?
I think even with open relationships, you're still not telling everything.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, open is probably just to make the other person feel secure and okay.
Well,
But you're still not gonna tell everything.
She said they've had multiple partners where she's told him, okay,
Like menage a trois.
yeah, and
What?
and she's had relationships where she's been with women by herself, but never where he went off.
While
to be-
married.
Yes,
wow.
that's the type of relationship they had. But one night when she was out on a girls' trip,
Mm-hmm.
he went to Las Vegas, honey, and had him some fun time by himself. Praise the Lord, okay? And it got all in the blog. So I was just like, his name is Michael. I said, Michael, why would you be doing that when you know you a celebrity? That's why I bring y'all the tea. You a celebrity, and you out here doing. You didn't think you was gonna get caught, sir?
Wow.
So yeah, she found out, and evidently they went to marriage counseling, and she took him back because, honey, Tink Tink is 6
I
months
mean, how much
pregnant.
of the show is actually real? We call it reality TV, but it's all fake to me.
Well, see, this is how I go because I was sought out to do 2 reality TV shows. I don't know if you remember the show with Miley Cyrus. They called it Cut Something. It was about designers. Well, anyway, that was about 7 years ago, and so I was sought out to do that. And then it was another show that was supposed to come that they had not even mentioned. But when they started like giving me the information, they want you to, they will create these scenes, and they'll go back and say, oh, so and so said this, and because at the time they knew what my personality was like, they would be like, okay, well, we want you to jump on her, we don't want you to like her. And I'm like, what? And so after I found out what reality TV really was, I was just like, no, because see, when I fight, I'm going to fight for real. I'm not going to be playing, fighting, and making up no quarrels with nobody. And so, yeah, but it's not real. It's just real when you see it.
So why they don't call it fake-ality TV?
Because that wouldn't sell, baby. Come on, somebody.
I think we need to call a spade a spade. Let's call a fake TV show a fake-ality TV show.
Because they don't have lines. They just say, hey, like when Sheree and Nene got into it about 5 years ago, the producers are the ones that went back and told Nene that Sheree had said some stuff. They knew it was going to piss Nene off. And then the producers are the one who called the meeting with Sheree and Nene, and because they had riled both of them up, once they got to the meeting, they were so they amp you up. They don't want you to be getting along.
I mean, I get that much. That's why I'm like, I can't watch fake TV. Like, this is
But it turns to real because now on Real Housewives of Potomac, them girls really can't stand each other. Like, it is a real line.
So what's
in
the purpose,
sand.
though?
Because it's entertainment, Drew. Like, what? It's entertainment.
I'd rather just watch paint dry, to be honest, than to watch these women go at it and act like children and cursing each other out, pulling weave and wigs off. Like, I'd rather just watch paint dry, to be honest.
Okay, well, you go ahead and watch your paint dry, and I'm going to go ahead and watch my show. Praise the Lord.
And then they got all of these installments, Potomac. First of all, people don't even know
You
what
got
Potomac is.
Salt Lake City, Atlanta,
Oh, my God.
Orange County, and New York. Praise the Lord.
So are they ever going to do the Houston and the Dallas one?
They did Dallas, but you know, them girls couldn't do right.
So they canceled it?
Cancel.
Wow.
And I don't think they will ever do Houston. Like I told you, they should. It was talk about doing Houston, but they need some real funny people to do Houston.
Yeah, I can't think of nobody in Houston that could
Not
really
that
do
would
it.
bring something to the show and to make you want to watch it.
Right. I can't think of
Especially
nobody.
because they not. So I don't.
I mean, unless they like scout some of the athletes,
That's true.
girlfriends or wives or
That's
whatever. But
true.
I mean,
That's
they
true.
don't have a big of enough name to have people tuning in. So that's just me. I
Definitely.
don't know. I don't watch it, so I don't know.
Leave it to me.
But I know the people. Like I said, I'm a fan of Candy Burrs because she's a businesswoman. She's in the music business, so I'm a fan of her because she's like the one that's really doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is making their names from just being from the show and not really doing much on.
So
on
you
the
like
outside.
how Candy sings?
I'm in the group, yeah. In the group, yeah. She's a great tenor. in the group.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
she's a great tenor in the group. Now solo, I mean, okay.
Okay,
But in
praise
the
the
group,
Lord.
yeah, I think she's great. And she hit that high note on what's the name of the song? You're My Little Secret or whatever it's
I
called.
don't listen to it, so
Really?
mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Candy. I like
I
Candy.
like good music.
Well, you don't like Escape? Wow. You're the first person I've ever met that didn't like Escape. Them
It's a lot
classic
of people.
hits, Understanding.
You do okay. So the question should be, do you like their songs? I like the songs, the lyrics, but I don't like the group. Like
You don't like them as people?
I don't like them singing the songs.
Oh, so you like the song, you just wish somebody else was singing it.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Praise the Lord.
No, I mean, I think I like them. I like Escape. Uh, I mean, I can only think of like Understanding and Secret and
What I need from
right. That's like a
you
hit.
is
Like I
under-
can't hear it being sung any other way from anybody else other than Escape. I can't hear it. That's just one of those songs where you can't
Really?
really hear.
SWV could sing all of their songs.
I
To
can't
me,
see SWV doing Understanding though.
if you close your eyes,
Still can't see
and
it.
he really gonna literally close his eyes like a demon.
Still couldn't see it. But I get it. I mean, everybody don't like everybody. That's
That's the
just how
truth.
it is.
That's
I
the
mean, I know people
truth.
that don't like SWV as bad as Coco sings. So I
Bad
guess
in a good way or bad in a bad way?
no, bad good,
Oh, okay.
bad good.
Yeah, like Coco can
No,
sing.
no, I like Coco.
Yeah, I like Coco
I like
too.
Coco. I mean, but like their voices fit for the group. Everybody
True.
can't be a Karen Clark shit. You can't have a whole group of Karen Clark shit
And I'm not saying
because
that.
everybody gonna be out singing each other. It's just gonna be a disaster.
I'm not saying that, but that's just like I'll use Kim Burrell and Kathy Burrell.
Mm-hmm.
You see how they have two different voices,
Two
but
different
they're
tones.
sisters.
Yeah.
So you don't need a whole group of Kims.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
no, I
Right.
love Kathy Burrell is wonderful. I
Right.
love her singing.
I love Kathy.
So yeah, you don't need a whole bunch of I would name some other people, but they'll take it the wrong way, so I ain't gonna even name
Yeah, I
them.
mean, you
But
gotta
all
have
them
some
riffs
people who
and
got the.
runs the whole while, ooh, my nerves be bad. Oof.
Oh my god! Shout out to Escape Candy Bird.
Hey, Tiny,
Oh,
you my
man.
favorite one, Tiny,
Tiny.
Tiny Tim.
Oh man, that's funny. I love y'all Escape. If y'all listening, I love you guys.
I love y'all songs.
Shout out to you guys. SWV, we love you guys.
Hey, Coco.
Coco, Lee, what's the other name? Taj. I love you guys. So what else we got in tea time? I saw in the news recently that there were a lot of people caught up in a few scandals, if you will.
Oh, who, child?
But this is more so on the political side. This is, I guess people pulling up the dirt because it's political season. It's, that's something that they have to do. I don't know how true it is. People have been attacking Reverend Warnock, who's running for a Georgia Senate seat, about him so-called having these extramarital deals or whatnot that people haven't been talking about. And I mean, when you put something out like that, whether it's true or not, you're going to get people to thinking.
Absolutely.
And you're going to have people, investigative journalists, trying to figure out if it's true or not. They're going to do research. They haven't come back with any proof or not. But I'm just thinking so the best y'all could do was to try to put him into a scandal that probably doesn't even exist. I mean, because if it existed, they would have kind of put that out a long time ago. You're talking about someone who is pastoring one of the most historical churches in the land,
Yeah.
Ebenezer, in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, if you got a pastor like a Jamal Bryant trying to take over Ebenezer, they're going to put that out immediately.
Yeah,
You're not going
definitely.
to wait till this guy's trying to run for a Senate seat to say, oh, well, he was involved in this and that and all of that. So, like I said, I don't know how true it is. I believe in my heart it ain't that true.
Yeah.
Because I think he's a great guy and he has done a lot for Atlanta, the community, the state of Georgia. So, I mean, I was just reading how desperate it seems that they are. The best that they could do was to try to put him in the scandal. One like that can ruin his marriage, his kids are paying attention to
Because
that,
people don't care.
his congregation. Like,
They don't
that's the
care.
best that y'all could do.
They don't care, honey.
Wow.
That's how they do.
I mean, you got to have some type of Like, just be smart. Like, this man has a family.
They don't care about that.
Now, if it's true and you have the proof, that's different because you can back it up.
Absolutely.
But if you're just throwing it out there because you just want to do as much damage as you can to try to swing people to come your way, I'm like, that's just, I mean,
It's
I can't say the
heartless.
word I want to say, but I'm like, that's just low. Like,
Yeah,
you
it's
just
very
hit
low.
the bottom. You're at the complete bottom. There's no coming back up. You're just all the way at the bottom.
It's heartless. Is what it is.
I'm
But
ready to
karma
go.
ain't no joke, baby.
I'm ready to go home, Lord. Come and get me,
Don't,
Jesus.
oh Lord, don't come get him yet, though, Jesus. Lord, if you come get him, take him by himself now, Lord. I ain't ready to go.
I'm
God.
ready to go, Lord.
Okay,
'cause
get him by himself,
These
Jesus.
people is just crazy, Lord.
Take him by himself, God.
No, she ready to come with me,
No,
Lord.
God, he talking by himself, Lord. I ain't ready to go.
So what's going on with our Houston Rockets? We've been hearing about James Harden, ready to be traded. He's going back and forth with the team. He ain't showing up for practice. He out clubbing in
Why?
Vegas. He's ready to be traded. So the story is, this is my own tea time. I'm giving you the tea time for the
Okay, let's
fellas.
hear it, boo.
I'm giving you the tea time for the fellas. Girl, let me tell you.
Do your New Orleans again.
Girl, baby. So rumor is Houston Rockets owner Tillman Fertitta, who we've seen in the news, is a huge Trump fan.
Okay.
He's a Trumpster.
Okay.
When that came to light recently, how much Tillman donated to the the Trump organization, Trump campaign, that pissed everybody off. So that's what started the whole, I want to be traded, I want to get out of Houston. Not
Got it.
only are you putting me on a team that can't win a championship, the owner is a Trumpster.
Trump's the dumpster.
So he was like, I'm ready to go. I want to be traded. My contract is up. I mean, not the contract is up. He has the option to be traded.
Yeah.
So he was like, I want out. Him, Russell Westbrook, a few others.
Mm-hmm.
So Russell got out. No problem. They let Russell go. They traded him for John Wall, who came from the Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to keep James because, of course, he's high talent.
Right.
And he's the star of the team. He's the
Right.
face of the team. Well, lately, James was like, nah, I'm not doing it. And, we just hired a new black coach. James was in Vegas partying with his friends at the club, breaking all COVID protocol. No mask, no social distancing, all of that. Well, there's no penalties or nothing that they can do because he's an adult. They can't fine him or anything like that.
Right.
So he came back to Houston. He was quarantined for a few days before he was able to return to practice.
Mm-hmm.
So they showed in the news that he's actually practicing, but he's not really giving, according to them, he's not giving his all. He's still talking about being traded. He doesn't want to play on the team where the owner is a Trump supporter.
Trump's the dumpster.
And we like, I get it, but I'm like, you knew this long time ago. You've been on this team many years now. You knew Tillman was like that long ago. Like, he's been supportive of Trump in the Republican Party. So you knew this long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, like, so Tillman, he gives them VIP passes to when the Astros was in the World Series. He was giving them passes to that, to the Texans game. Like, they get a lot of perks.
Right.
So you wasn't having a problem with that when you was getting all these perks. But now all of a sudden, it's a big deal. You knew this long
because he's
ago.
not getting the perks?
He still gets the perks. He wants out because he's trying to win the championship.
Got it.
And the Houston Rockets does not have the talent that can compete up against the Lakers
course.
with a LeBron James that couldn't compete back then when Golden State was at their top. But now they're the worst.
When the last time the Rockets won something?
95, 96 when they
Child
won the
was in high
championship. 94,
school.
95 when they won the championships back to back. That was the last time we won an NBA championship.
Vernon, what's his name? Vernon was on the team at the time. Vernon somebody. That was on the
Clyde Drexler,
Clyde Drexler.
owner of Grooves. Shout out to Grooves, Houston. That was the last time.
He on Grooves?
Yeah, the Drexler family actually owns that whole sector over there,
I
all
didn't
that
know
land
that.
over there. The
Okay.
Grooves, all of the land, that whole shopping little strip on Dowling and
Okay.
Pierce.
Okay.
They own all of that land over there. But that was the reason. That's what they've been reporting in the news. He's not a big fan of John Wall. He said that, according to them, that he can't win a championship with this team, so he wants out. And he's still trying to get out. So it's rumored that Brooklyn Nets is in talks to try to get him over to Brooklyn, where he will
Got
be
it.
with KD, Kevin Durant, and some other talent that can actually stand up
Help
against,
him. Yeah.
and help him to win the championship. So that's the tea time for the fellas.
Okay,
We
tea
want to
time,
hear from
fellas.
you. If you got something you want to talk about and you want us to know about, make sure you reach out to us on our social media, Drew and Mia Podcast Show, or visit us online, Drew and Mia Podcast Show.com. Let us know what you have, what your tea is, because we will spill it on
Sure will.
the air. Miss Mia, so are we talking about our multiple streams of income? I think people need
Listen.
to be educated and informed. We are a show that informs the people.
We definitely are. And my people sometimes don't want to listen. That is the struggle with me. So, listen, you need to have multiple streams of income because I don't plan on working a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So, if you love to do hair, start doing hair. If you love to bake cookies, start doing making cookies.
Yeah.
If you know how to tutor, get you a tutoring business.
Yeah.
Multiple streams of income is only going to help you in the end, which is why I signed up to be a financial literacy consultant through Financial Education Services.
Right.
Yes, I am a credit expert, and what I do is I am basically the liaison between myself and the company to help you not only repair but leverage your credit. And so again, that is another stream of income for me. When I get my paycheck every other week, I still get a paycheck from Financial Education Services every week like clockwork. I do hosting, so I get a check when I go out. Like I've been doing booking gigs. I did one on Friday. I don't know if you catch my live, but people actually hire me to come out and have intimate conversations with them.
Okay.
Like I've done families, I've done like a husband and wife where they'll see me on Welcome to Mimi Land and they like, we want a more intimate conversation with you. So they'll book me to come to a family reunion or get together with their girlfriends, and I go and I'm basically myself. That's an extra stream of income, even though each of the things that I do, I love doing.
Yeah.
I love Welcome to Mimi Land. Mimi Land is not only my passion, but Mimi Land is actually a stream of income. So we have to have multiple streams, especially when you have children, because children are very expensive. People don't think about life
Absolutely.
insurance. They don't think about how is your family going to live, God forbid something happens to you. So I want to encourage everybody, whatever that is that you want to do, you have a passion for, start doing it. The more streams of income you have, the better. And the pandemic should have taught us that. I have seen
That's true.
so many people that I did not even know were entrepreneurial and they started business. And you don't have to have no degree to start no business. Anybody can start a business. My daughter started a business. At the time she was 11 years old and she started a pet finding business. And she had at one point she had like 30 clients.
Wow.
She would find like cats and dogs and horses and rabbits for people, and they would pay her a percentage of whatever they paid for the animal. At 11 years old, she did that, Drew.
Wow.
So if she can do it at 11 years old and has this mind to want to be her own
business.
boss, my best friend's daughter braids hair, and she braids like 3 or 4 kids or 3 or 4 adults a week. So at $80 a pop time 3 for a 15-year-old girl, she have a little cash. So those multiple streams of income, you never know. You can have that money for a rainy day. You can have that money. You can add it to your retirement plan. And if you need some guidance on that, I'm always here. You can reach out to me at MiaandDreuxPodcastShow.com. Also Mia the Millionaire at gmail.com. I'm always available because listen, we cannot be working for other people for the rest of our lives.
At least we shouldn't.
We shouldn't.
Unless you 6 figures, 7 figures, and
Exactly.
you pulling it.
Especially when you have a talent and you
Right.
have a
And
passion
you've been sitting on
and
it.
you've been sitting on it. Go out and let that work for you. So that's my little tidbit. I ain't gonna preach, but I want y'all to have some
No,
multiple
I
streams.
agree, and I tell people this often. I'm asked this often, being a business owner and doing it, for a long time, and then I get asked, how do you do it? How do you make it? It started with stepping out on faith.
Exactly.
Once I discovered what my purpose was, it then became my passion. My passion has always to be my own boss. I never wanted to work for someone and have to clock in and all of that. I always wanted to be my boss. I remember being a kid back home in New Orleans. We had a nice sized house, and my mom converted the den area. It was a big den. She converted part of the den area to like a work office
Okay.
where we had a desk, computer, printer, everything. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, so I'm pretending to be a boss, working on a computer. I stole some forms and stuff. Like I'm writing up stuff.
Okay,
Like I was
Dr.
going
Drew.
all out. And then I bought a little calligraphy desk because my mom did calligraphy too. And then my cousin was working on side. So we was like back, side by side building the business. So it's always been in me even as a child.
Yeah.
It's always been in me. And then when it came to time, I had to step out on faith.
Yeah.
And I haven't worked for another person in many years.
Really?
I've been doing this. I've been doing my own thing for many years, selling cookbooks, singing, cooking shows, stripping. I'm playing.
Okay, praise the Lord, stripping. Okay, brother stripper.
I've been doing it by myself with the help of the Lord. God has
That's
protected
amazing,
me,
Drew.
kept me, and He has allowed me to sustain. Of course, I've had my downtime
Yeah.
while I struggled. I'm releasing my book next year, State of Me, State of Mind, My Life, My Way, where I talk about how I had to file bankruptcy multiple times at the age of 29.
Wow.
I had filed bankruptcy at that time probably 3 times because I didn't even understand bankruptcy.
Yeah.
I didn't even understand how to do that. So
Yeah.
I messed it up so many times. And to this day, the judge and I are best friends because he had
Wow.
seen me so many times, but he knew what I was trying to do. And he saw the potential. He saw what I was striving for.
That's amazing.
And he offered so much mercy. So, shout out to Judge, I forgot his name. Shout out to Judge Southern District.
Judge best friend.
Yeah, to him. Shout out to him because he was like, yeah, okay, I'm tired of seeing you in here. And he actually said that I don't want to see you in here no more. And I'm like, you won't, Your Honor. And I never saw him again. But I had to file bankruptcy many times because I didn't understand the business side of things. I didn't understand how to manage things. I just was interested in just doing it and not doing the research, not doing my studying, not preparing myself. But then once I hit rock bottom and I was just out there, I lost everything. Car repossessed, evicted, all of that. It was like, okay, I have to do the research. So I started building myself back up, going online, doing the research, doing what I should have done in the beginning. So now that I don't make the same mistakes. And I tell people that all the time, you're gonna have these learning moments, and it may not be comfortable.
Right.
And you may have to hit rock bottom to really learn and figure it out. And that's where I always find myself when talking to other people who are interested in starting a business, a catering business, a pastry business, want to enter into the music world. I'm like, if you're not, strong enough to handle this, you're going to fall flat. Because the music industry is cutthroat.
Baby.
They're not going to give you everything you want to hear. They're not going to be your best friend. They're going to come for you every day, all the time. So you got to be ready. If you're used to people saying they love your voice, then get unused to it. Because that's not going to happen. You're going to have people who are going to say, oh, you can't sing. And you could be the greatest singer in the world.
Yeah.
You're still going to have somebody say, oh, you sound awful.
Right.
So I always tell people, do the research, do the study, prepare yourself, go enroll in somebody's program. You don't have to do a 4-year degree to get the basics. You can do a 2-year. You can do a certificate program. Just get the basic understanding. Microsoft offers tutorials for you to learn how to use Microsoft Excel, spreadsheet, Office, Word. They offer those things so you can better prepare yourself, because as a business owner, guess what? You're going to need to use those programs and applications. So that's just my tidbit for that. Oh, man.
That's an amazing journey you've been on.
It has been very amazing. It has been very overwhelming, but I thank God that I'm still here. When I wanted to give up, He either sent someone to encourage me, to speak to me, to lift me up, and to tell me that I'm not in this thing alone and that I will be okay. And I just kept going. I kept going. I knew that eventually things would turn and I would be able to start living like I always dreamed about living. And then slowly and surely it started happening. Like I'll say it like you would say it. When you put God first, everything else is going to fall into place. And that's what needed to happen for me, because I was just trying to do it on my own.
And then you have to have those tests and those trials because that's what brings about the testimony. I say all the time, I didn't understand why then I was going through what I was going through, but it's for the now because I encounter so many people on a daily basis that I have to encourage.
Yeah.
And God is going to use your story for business owners. You know what I'm saying? To reach out to you. Okay, Drew, I see you doing this. And you could be able to encourage them because my daddy used to tell me all the time, he said, failure is not trying.
Yeah.
When you try, that is your success right there because
Exactly.
at least you got up to try.
At
And
least
every
you tried.
time you got knocked down, it's something to say for you as a person that every time you got knocked down, you pick yourself back up and you try it
Try it
again.
again.
You know, so you just have to, of course, use those life lessons to help other people.
Yeah. And that's my goal. I've always been the one that's always helped. I've put others before me. I've neglected myself so that I can help others. I'm that person. But now as I get older, I understand that that's not really the right way to do it.
Right.
You have to find that balance.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that I've also been working on alongside being my own boss and being my own business owner is just finding the balance because I don't want to die doing what I love doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want to be able to live and retire and just
Exactly.
watch all of the labor, just watch it, just
Yeah.
see it, just like, oh, wow, look what I created, look what I
Yeah.
did. And I can just, live my best life. That's what I'm
Exactly.
trying to do.
You gonna do it.
Oh, man. So what are we watching these days, Miss Mia? Have you seen Amazing Race?
Amazing Race.
Yeah, CBS.
I have seen that show.
Man, Amazing Race has been on probably 10 seasons now, 10 years or so. So it's one of my favorites.
Don't they win $1 million?
They win $1 million at the
Okay.
end when they travel all over the world doing different tasks, different things, partnering.
Okay.
$1 million is the final prize. It's one of my favorite shows. I always wanted to compete. I just never had nobody to compete with.
Well, don't look at me because I ain't competing with you, honey. I ain't
Oh,
running
Lord.
nowhere. But to
And
the
that's how
end.
people end up losing because they pick the wrong partner, someone who's weak, someone who can't run, someone who
even
can't
wanna do
eat.
it.
Right, someone who can't eat, everything. Like, why would you even pick somebody? Someone who can't travel on the airplane. Like, well, how you expect to get to all these countries? So,
Now, I
no.
do Big Brother with you because I love
Oh,
Big
no,
Brother.
I don't
You
do
don't like
Brother.
Big Brother?
No, I don't do Big Brother.
love Big Brother.
Nah, I'm good on that. Y'all can have that
Okay.
one.
You like all these weird shows, but go ahead.
Amazing Races, nah,
It's
that's
kind
the
of weird.
best. That's the
It's
best.
It's a little weird.
So I guess like NCIS, New Orleans and Los Angeles, LL Cool J, and
I like a little bit. I can't watch them like back to back. Like
Really?
if it come on and I don't have nothing else to watch, then I'll leave it on. But
well, it come on Sunday, so you probably watching the other stuff.
yeah, I'm watching Housewives, baby. That's my first ministry.
Ay, ay, ay.
Housewives. Praise
Well,
the Lord.
CBS and NBC to me have the best lineup. CBS has NCIS, SWAT, and SEAL Team. Of course, This Is Us and Chicago Fire, Med, PD. CBS has The Amazing Race and All Rise, and like those networks have the
You
best
telling
shows
your
to me.
age.
Listen, I can't hide it forever. Y'all see this gray and everything on me, so I'm not a young pup no more. I'm getting up there. I'm an
He's
old
not.
dog. I'm an old dog. But those are some of the things that we're watching. If you have a favorite show that you're watching that you want us to check out, make sure you reach out to us at Drew and Mia Podcast Show on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Or visit us online, DreuxandMiaPodcastShow.com. Let us know what you're watching, why it's your favorite show. And let's see if we can, kind of get on hip to it and if it's going to be something we can add to our list. Because, during COVID, we have some downtime so we can find some new shows to watch, something informational, something educational,
True that.
something entertaining. But my co-host Mia, she's always just into ratchetness and foolishness. So if it don't have all that in it, she ain't gonna watch it.
Touch him, Lord.
But I want to watch something that's gonna help my life. I want to know
He
all
like
all
boring
there is to
shows,
know
y'all.
on Amazing Race. They have countries I ain't never heard of.
Because he didn't learn them countries in school.
And guess what? They on my list to visit.
So he lets the TV teach him what he didn't learn in
Exactly,
school.
because they
Praise
didn't
the
teach
Lord.
us all these countries. I didn't know they had
I
all
know
these
you
countries.
from New Orleans.
I thought it was just New Orleans.
They had a shortage of teachers.
Oh, she trying to come from New Orleans. Shout out to New Orleans.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna let nobody do y'all like that. Always down for the NO.
The ninth ward.
7 ward, get it right.
Oh, okay. So
7 ward, get it right. See, she don't even know which ward I come from. That's a shame. So we got a new segment called Say What, where we talk about some serious issues that's going on in our world, our society, in our lives. One of the major topics that I want to talk about, Mia, is just all of the racism, all of the inequality that's been going on in the world. It just seems like it just came out of the woodwork ever since Trump has been in office. So it's like people felt they had the permission to come and be
Absolutely.
racist, to
Absolutely.
come and try to hurt others, disrespect others. And I mean, we've seen over the past few weeks how some of the protesters, anti-protesters, are coming to harm Black Lives Matter protesters. It was in the news some time ago that they were harming and stabbing people in D.C. for a protest. All of those things, and I'm just thinking, like, when did this behavior become okay?
Trump.
When did we ever allow this to be okay? And I thought something that just really just made me think, like, they came out when they knew that nobody was there. They knew that we weren't there. They didn't do this for the Million Man March.
Nope.
They didn't do that for any other gathering in Washington, D.C., where they knew they was going to have some competition.
Yeah.
They specifically came when they knew that there was none of us there,
Yeah.
and that they could actually attack. And they're attacking their own, because what they showed on the news is that some of the Black Lives protesters were white.
Yeah. They are.
So it was white on white violence.
And other races.
Yeah, it was other races.
Yeah.
I didn't see any altercations where Trump supporters, if you would, were attacking Black people
Right.
that were part of Black Lives Matters. They were attacking white people who are part of Black Lives Matters. And I'm thinking, like, so when did it become okay for you to attack your own? You all talk about the Black on Black crime and violence, so now you're doing it too?
Yeah, because they're so mad that their own would support us in our movement.
It really looked like a scene from, if you've ever seen some of the documentaries from the civil rights movement, that's what it looked. That's what it reminded me of.
Really?
It reminded me of when you saw white people standing up against the injustices and segregation in the South and all over.
Right.
When you saw that happening, you saw how they were beaten, how they were disrespected, how they were called in lovers, all of that. It reminded me of that because that's exactly what it looked like. They were attacking their own because they were standing up for equality for all. So now, Ad Council put out an ad where they say all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. And that sent a powerful message, because a lot of people weren't saying that. When they saw Black Lives Matter, somehow it translated to them as only Black Lives Matter.
True.
And we never said that. And when I say we, I'm part of Black Lives Movement, Black Lives Matters movement here in Houston. Shout out to Ashton Woods, the organizer for the Houston chapter. Never said that. Never said that. And then it became a thing where, Black men and women were going at it because Black men felt like they were being attacked the most. Black women were not being targeted. Well, supportive too, but targeted as much as Black men.
Yeah.
So then sister said, well, no, that's not true. She brought up Sandra Bland, which she had a case. But I mean, if we look at it in its entirety,
Yeah.
Black men have been the target from day one.
Very true.
From day one. So I'm not even sure how that even became an argument. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so now we're arguing about that. Even though I understood what she's saying, it's like they kind of just moved over to the Black woman now. Because now they see how powerful a
The
Black woman
women
is.
They are very.
So now it's like, okay, we need to attack them too. To
Yeah.
me, that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
So they're still, trying to harm Black men, but now they see how powerful the Black woman is. So now they're going after her.
Yep.
Have you ever had to endure any type of racism or inequality ever?
I did. However, for me, when I was a child, and it's crazy because I do not like telling this story, but when I was a kid, my mother and my father endured racism. I was probably like 6 or 7 years old.
Wow, and you still remember?
Yeah, because it was one of the most traumatic times in my life. And my mom and dad were going to minister, and my dad was driving, and he actually drove through a part of town that he was not supposed to drive through.
Here in Houston?
No, I think he was going through Vider.
Oh yeah.
And I think he made the wrong turn or something. But anyway, when we got to this street, it was like a bunch of men with white hats on.
Wow.
And I guess when they turned around and saw who was in the car, they just started coming towards the car. And my mama was like basically trying to protect, the kids, and my daddy like pulled out so fast, and that I had never experienced that before in my life. I just knew as a child that we was at the wrong place at the wrong
Right.
time. And so when I got older, I don't think I experienced racism until about a year ago. And my experience was with a woman in a store, and I knew that she was calling me out of my name because she wanted a reaction out of me. So that's why I say all the time, you can't call me those names, and it don't offend me because I know who I am.
Right.
And I wish that my people, of course, I know what the word means and I know what kind of connotation it gives off, but I'm not offended by that
And
at
I'm with
all.
you. I'm not offended too. If someone calls me the N word, I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay, whatever. That's the
Yeah.
best you can do. I'm like some more. If you've ever seen some more comedy special, she was like, that doesn't offend me.
No.
What offends me is when you giving them a higher interest rate on in the bank.
Exactly. That's
That's
the
gonna
real
offend me.
offense
Right.
right there.
That's gonna offend me. But you can call
Yeah.
me an N word all day.
All day.
And that's how I feel. Like you can call me that. It does not affect me. And like Jay-Z said, it's just like we took the power away from it.
Yeah.
The power that it had, we took it away. We stripped it away. You cannot harm me anymore with using that
Because
word.
most time when they say it, they want a reaction out of you.
Of course,
They're
of
saying
course.
it not because they didn't mean to say it or it was a mistake. They're saying it because they want you to jump stupid so they can call the police on
Of
you.
course.
So for that reason, I'm like, and that has only happened to me in the last year that my mindset has changed. Because before I'd be ready to fight.
Yeah.
But as of now, like that don't offend me. Along with other words, I'm not fazed by that because I know who I am, but I understand the movement. I understand how that would offend my other African American brothers and sisters. I get it
Yeah.
because everybody is on a different journey,
Right. And it has a different meaning to everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, I mean, I shared the story in the book that I'm releasing next year about when we first moved to our new house that my mom had just bought in New Orleans. It was a predominantly white area, so we were, if you've seen the story of how Watts converted over and cities like that, it was similar to that. So you have black people moving in. It was still predominantly white when we moved back in 1989. It was still predominantly white. So anyway, I was at the park, hadn't made any friends yet, just playing by myself. So here comes a group of 3 white guys, white boys, white kids, came, started messing with me. I'm 9, 10 at this time. Started messing with me. So long story short, they actually jumped me. So, they were holding me down. I'm doing the best I could to fight off 3 at one time at 10, doing the best I could to try to defend myself. But they, were hitting me. They were holding me down and everything. So I managed to get one down. I managed to tackle one down and hurt him and, cause harm to him to where I can get free. I got free. I ran home because we lived like 3 houses down from the park. Ran home. Went inside, called my mom, told her what happened. Here she come outside, like, oh no, ain't nobody about to jump you.
Exactly.
She came to the park with me. She said, now who was it? And there was a few people who had, come to the park since I had left to go back home. So I pointed them out. So she said, come in. So she stood there and we fought one-on-one. I fought all 3 of them one-on-one. And she said, the next time y'all try to jump my son, I'm going to kick y'all ass. And that was that. I had never seen them again. And we lived there from 1989 to 2005.
I like your mama already.
I had never seen them again in life. If I saw them to this day, I would not know who they were
recognize 'em.
because they never showed their face again. I'm sure they moved when they saw the black people moving into the neighborhood, but I'll never forget that day. I'm like, I see what our people went through, our ancestors went through,
Yep.
and I'm like, wow, like in 1989 in New Orleans, here I am being attacked and jumped by 3 white kids who I never met, didn't know. I never did anything to. I'm at the park playing by myself. And here they come trying to be big bad and all of that, and they want to jump me.
Wow. But your mama made sure vengeance is mine. Said
I mean, I
mama.
had to use all of the strength that I could to defend myself, to just get free so that I can run home. And I guess they didn't think that my mom was going to come back out because they stayed.
They didn't think that.
They didn't think that. So when she came and she held 2 of them while I fought the other one.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. But I'm just like, just going back to everything. Like, when did this behavior become okay? I mean, we thought we were progressing. We thought we were moving forward. We had a black president. Like, we were moving forward. Then all of a sudden, here we come. Everybody is coming out the woodworks. So now it makes me think, like, have these people always been this way? Like, have they always been hitting racists?
Absolutely.
Then
That's
why didn't you say something a long time
they
ago?
not gonna say that. That's the thing with us. It's like we have to. Somebody gotta shake us and be like, "Oh, you know, racism is still alive, right?" No, racism has always been alive.
Yeah.
Racism ain't going nowhere. Even 10 years to come, racism is not going
Yeah,
anywhere
it's
because
definitely
you
not going
have
nowhere.
people who are racist breeding racism in their children and then their children's children. And so when Trump came into office, now it was okay to make your racism known.
Yeah.
Because before, you had Obama who was a black president. So now, like, okay, let me hide it. Let me just get along. But now when Trump came into office, he basically gave you a pass to show your racism,
Show your racism.
So it ain't going nowhere. We just have to be on guard. That's the
true.
thing. We just have to know and acknowledge, okay, I see you. We see each other.
You know, they say that black people are the most forgiving
We are.
ethnic group. And I didn't catch it at first, but then I realized, yeah. And then I realized, I think it goes all the way back to slavery.
Absolutely.
Our ancestors forgave those that oppressed us, those that hurt us, beat us, raped. They forgave them. And I'm like, number one, it takes a lot of strength. But then I'm also thinking, like, was that the smart thing to do?
No.
So I'm in between on that. I'll just put it like that. I'm in between on that. Is that the smart thing to do, or would we just like being stupid? Like, why would we forgive the person that hurt us? Even though we know we're supposed to forgive the people that hurt us, we're supposed to forgive them.
Go into that, but we'll be here another hour because that is actually breaking down the real word of what the Bible is actually saying. And I'm unorthodox and I'm very controversial,
Right?
And so it would take me time to explain, but yeah, that's
so we're gonna save that for the next show. We're gonna save that for the next show. That's gonna be one of our topics for the next show. Man, we try to cover so much for you guys within a 1 hour time frame. But we definitely want to hear from you and what you think, how you feel about everything that's been going on since Trump has been in office, all of the racism, all of the inequality. It just seems like it's so many of us being shot and killed by police now, Black Lives Matters, all of that. How do you feel about it? Reach out to us. Visit us online at DreuxandMiaPodcastShow.com or connect with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Drew and Mia Podcast Show. It's DreuxandMia Podcast Show on social media. We want to hear from you. Let us know if you've ever experienced a racist act, if you've ever been, in a situation with law enforcement where it went bad fast. Like, we want to hear your story. We want to, want you to reach out to us so we can learn about those things because we're supposed to be in it together, but it seems like we're growing further and further apart. So we want to kind of be the bridge that kind of brings us back to where we should be, where we're looking out for each other. So we're going over the feed me. It's the holiday times, and everybody's getting ready to get their grub on. Mm-hmm. But I'm tired of the same old, same old. I'm tired of the same old turkey and chicken and ham and all that.
We don't eat that.
Really?
No, we eat gumbo for Christmas.
Yes, in New Orleans, people be so tired of gumbo because we done had it all Thanksgiving time, and then probably before that, and we'll probably have it sometime next year too. So for Christmas, we take a break. So let's try something new. So it usually be like soul food. So maybe like ham, a baked ham, macaroni and cheese, yams, maybe some fried chicken. We've had gumbo on Christmas sometimes, but recently it's a no because we be too tired and too full from it from Thanksgiving.
So what you gonna cook?
I ain't cooking nothing. I'm gonna be chilling.
Why?
I ain't doing nothing. It's my day off.
I want you to make me some gumbo.
It's gonna be my day off. I want somebody to make me some gumbo.
You the chef. Why would somebody make you something?
I ain't the only chef in this city.
Oh my God.
I want somebody to make me some gumbo.
Well, can you make me some fried chicken?
I can probably do fried chicken. I can do a soulful Christmas. I'm looking at doing the soulful Christmas.
Okay.
But I have a lot of recipes in my cookbook. I know, you all didn't know your boy is a cookbook
Yeah, the
author.
vegan and vegetarian
So yeah,
edition.
I have the Soulful Chef regular cookbook with regular recipes, popular recipes. That's available on my website. I also have the vegan vegetarian experience. A lot of vegan and vegetarian recipes that I kind of twisted to make it more appealing and more fun. Vegan
Yeah,
and vegetarian don't mean you just have to eat plants and
absolutely.
diet water and all of that. You can actually have fun with vegan. You're just removing some of the options to adhere to that regimen. So you guys go to the website DreuxandMiaPodcastShow.com or Drew and Mia Podcast Show on social media, and you can reach out to me from there and go and get the cookbook. It's at Barnes and Noble and also on the website. So what we got going on for Miss Mia's moments today, Mia?
Listen, the holidays are approaching, so I want to encourage everyone who has lost someone
Yeah,
to please go and get you some counseling. Please go and see someone. Make sure that you are expressing how you feel because definitely around this time you start to miss mom or dad or
it's
sister
hard.
or brother. And as a person who has lost three people within the last couple of years, two of those people I lost this year. Mother had a stroke, so it was a lot. I have to make sure that I take care of me and make sure that I'm doing self care. And self care is not always going to your primary care physician for your physical body, but we have to take care of our mental. So please, please, please make sure that you guys are going to some grief counseling and know that it's okay to not be okay.
That's good. That's good. Definitely. And if you need more information, if you need to reach out to uh, one of our partners here at the Dreux and Mia Podcast Show, Covenant House, NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, definitely reach out to us so that we can connect you with the
Definitely.
right resources. We can put you in touch with the right people so that you can have someone to talk to
Yeah.
if you need assistance. We want to be able to help you guys. So make sure you go to the website, DreuxandMiaPodcastShow.com. If you go to our social media and send us a message, we'll definitely do all we can to assist you during this time. It's at Drew and Mia Podcast Show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And again, the website is DreuxandMiaPodcastShow.com. Well, Miss Mia, that's our time. I always enjoy being here with
Me
you.
too.
Make sure you guys reach out to us. We love hearing from you all. We will be back next time. So make sure you send us a message. Let us know what you think. And again, if you want to nominate someone to be a hometown hero, reach out to us on the website, DreuxandMiaPodcastShow.com, or our social media, Drew and Mia Podcast Show. You can connect with Mia from there as well. She can give
Yep.
you more information on how to start that business and how to get your credit back on track.
Yes,
We
I
know
do.
many people are suffering right now. So make sure you reach out to us at Drew and Mia Podcast Show. It's DreuxandMia Podcast Show, or the website is DreuxandMiaPodcastShow.com. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in, watching us, listening, and we hope you all take care during this time.